stop, we need to keep trying. On these beats are on the street grinding. Can't take this away from me. My destiny, I was meant to be shining.
Strong mind within moi. Don't stand for something, you fool for anything. Small things for granted, now precious when needed. Label gullible, target alert, the weakest. Foreheads just about, see lights peeping, seeking food. Boys rude, booze with screaming. Yo, Sandman, come down and get him, we don't feel him. Put the mic down, he's confused with music, reason. BS, I guess it's people's opinion agreeing. Would be minor, so long as most my darts are beating. Out there somewhere, shrugging, still tighter. To my ones, winking a gun and flashlighters. Underestimators get piped up. Hearing, pick the mic up in slow-mo. KO, cold bro, I'm hype, no. Most ears just like the flow.
Grand sunset, royal sunset, all sunsets. The sun soon go down. Welcome to Shah TV once again. You know the coup. Likes, subscribes. Any questions, send them come. But yeah, this episode is about sharing my degrees. I'm going to show you a few books that helped me in my journey of life. So let's go. Nile Valley, Contributions to Civilization by Anthony T. Browder. This book here, look up the author. If you want to know about Asian African history, this is the book to read. Our history seems to start at slavery. If you want to know the culture, before we got into that mess, this is the book. Make sure you have your A4 project book for notes, your highlight pen, and you're going to be burning that browser for research. Because there's a plethora of information in this book. I've always asked the question, what was we doing before foreigners came? Let's move on to the next one. Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. Apparently he passed away when this book was published. Conspiracy, but let's keep it moving. Greek philosophy is African philosophy. Greek philosophy is African philosophy. Horus, Isis, Osiris, pyramids, Egypt, all those words are Greek. Greek terminology is painted over African terminology. If you want to know the real original names or ancient names, African ancient names, go to the first book I showed you. Aristotle, all the Greek philosophers will tell you themselves where they got the knowledge from. All right, let's keep it moving. The Life of Josiah Henson. I'm not really a person for, reading literature on slaves and, the experience and escaping, and I'm not even into slave movies anymore. I know enough, and it's just disturbing. Now I need to know something else, which is, what do we do about it? What do we do today? And if I do any form of researching in the past, I go more before slavery, before we got into this mess, and know about ancient knowledge. That's why I recommended the two books before. But this guy was a slave. He was born in slavery in Maryland and escaped to Canada. Made a settlement there for other slaves that escaped to come to. I think Harriet Tubman went there as well. And it was a great escape, I must say. I won't tell you what he done. You need to go get the book and read it. But what made me read this book is this book by Harriet Beecher Stowe, Uncle Tom's Cabin. She was inspired by Josiah's life. So she dramatized his life and called the character that represented him Uncle Tom. Now, the name was in good light. It had good meaning, like a noble black man. But the meaning got turned into a bad light. And how that was done was in the late 1800s, they put out theatre plays and TV shows called Tom shows, showing minstrels, and they created their own character, their own Uncle Tom, which was a Negro selling out to white people. And now that's the narrative we've got today. Side note, be careful of marketing. When they market something consistently, they're trying to push a narrative to the masses. And today we think Uncle Tom is a diss to black people when it's actually a compliment. So crack a smile if you ever hear that word. All right, that term I should say. And there's a museum in Canada that's dedicated to Josiah. All right, so I'll say let's move on to the next one. Now this book here is a dynamic book, The Awakening of Intelligence. Jiddu Krishnamurti. He's not the author, by the way. The book's about him. I don't remember who wrote the book, but I know it's someone of a higher profession, because a lot of philosophers, physicians, doctors went to go see this guy to ask questions. And speaking of questions, the book, well, half of the book is wrote in that form, because there's a lot of interviews in the book when they went to go see him. So, because this guy, his lifestyle, he don't write books, he don't read books, he don't watch TV, he don't listen to radio. He looks at life as he sees it. He don't put a name on anything, he don't put a title on anything. That's his life. So this book was created by someone going to see him. Yeah, but I remember some people are asking questions and I could sense they're getting frustrated, because he will just about answer the question or probably won't even answer it, because he's breaking down your question and the words you're using and seeing if you understand the words you're using in your question. I'm telling you, the guy was so deep and dynamic. But my whole point is of this book, why it helped me, is because he taught me about perception, and it's like it reset my mind. It's like reading this book like you're born again. So it kind of clears your mind to how, your perception, digest or observe things. So I read this book like 15 years ago, and it was recommended to me by someone that went to go see him actually. But this book cleared my mind, and I read this book like 15 years ago, maybe more. Not far from when I started reading African history, ancient African history. So it kind of cleared my mind on top of me finding out ancient history, African history. Like it just went together. So my mind was just clean to learn some new knowledge. So yeah, I recommend this book, but just be ready. Just be ready. This book is advanced. I remember watching a YouTube video of him. Look him up actually, and you can see the vibe, what he's on. But I watched the video and I remember all these professionals are sitting on the floor. No chairs, they're sitting on the floor, and there's like a little stage with a chair on there, and they're just waiting for this guy to walk out. And I tell you, this guy is probably walking like, I don't know, like he's crawling. As you can see on the picture, he looks kind of old, but I don't even know if he's alive today, I'm not sure. But when this guy sat on the chair, I tell you, the silence, you could hear a pin drop, because they're trying to hear this. They just want to hear this guy speak. So, it's like they came there to bow down at his feet, get their answers and bounce. But trust me, you read the book, you would have to have patience with this guy. It's like people will go through all the stuff he breaks down just to get their answer, because there was a lot of frustration where some people were just, you know what, forget this, I'm going. I tell you, the guy is deep. So yeah, this book, I recommend this book for recalibration of the mind, how you perceive everything around you, even yourself in a sense, and thinking outside the box totally. I'll end there. Kwaheri. Peace to the people.